And welcome to the T2 Challenge Finals here in Westchester Table Tennis Center, located just outside of New York City. My name is Corey Heider. I'm alongside my partner, four-time U.S. national champion, Jimmy Butler. Jimmy, today we have ZHOU Xin against LIU Juan. We have a man versus a woman, a pen hold versus a shake hand, and a righty versus a lefty, all in one matchup.
Well, Corey, we have two Olympians, one on the US Olympic team for the men, one on the US Olympic team for the women. And this is going to be an incredible matchup.
And LIU getting on the board early here. One thing we find interesting, on paper, ZHOU is the favorite with a 27.49 US ATT rating, and LIU has a 26.21 rating. So both players obviously really highly skilled, but on paper, ZHOU is the favorite.
Not very often you get to see an Olympic man play an Olympic woman on the same team. You're seeing that today, and look at that beautiful forehand drive there by LIU.
And Jimmy, I think that's going to be LIU's main strategy. Serve and try to get her forehand in as often as possible. Her forehand is really, really strong. What a forehand by ZHOU. Counter loop down the line. If LIU is going to play forehands, you have to, if you're going to play it out to ZHOU's forehand, you have to play with a little more power than that.
ZHOU catching the edge there on that block. What incredible play there by ZHOU. Stepping back from the table, LIU was pressuring him, and he just comes up with a huge backhand and a huge forehand to win that point.
What fierce forehands by LIU, Jimmy. Taking him right off the bounce, going boom, boom, boom. Two to the backhand, and then finishing out wide to the forehand of ZHOU. Unbelievable quickness and power.
There's an unforced error there off a loose serve by ZHOU. Well, a nice receive, Corey, there by LIU. I liked it a lot. The problem was ZHOU comes up with a beautiful backhand defensive shot there, going wide out to her forehand. And that's great feeling and touch there by ZHOU. Able to just put that ball down the line, took some pace off it, just really good touch. That's just fantastic hand speed there by LIU, with a beautiful opening in this, really putting some speed on that shot with that follow-up forehand loop. Great play. LIU trying to catch ZHOU with that deep serve, seeing if he's sleeping, but ZHOU is ready for it, made a great receive, and a beautiful follow. That had a lot of weird side spin on it, that banana flick. Had a lot of side spin. LIU not able to deal with it. LIU demonstrating some beautiful backhand play there. Able to take that ball off the bounce with that pen hold grip. Liu really trying to pressure ZHOU, taking the ball off the bounce, trying not to give him time to get in those big shots. Worked really well that point. Another quick backhand loop off the bounce from ZHOU's receive, and Corey, that's working really well. It's gotten her back into this game.
One thing to watch, Jimmy, is you'll see ZHOU probably has more overall power, but the thing that Liu tries to do is play the ball so early so he doesn't have time to make those big swings and hurt her with the power. Really smart tactic and strategy by Liu.
And Liu really playing with control there, didn't do anything special, slowed the pace down, and it really caught ZHOU off balance. His timing was off with that slow ball by Liu. Oh, and just a beautiful reaction by Liu, and then a little bit of help from that net cord. But before that net, she made a beautiful reaction. She was out of position. It looked like she was going to lose the point. Great job by Liu to stay alive in that point. She's got game point. Oh, and that's an interesting choice. She went for the down-the-line serve, but here's the problem. It had no speed. It had no pace, and one of the worst things you can do is serve deep if it doesn't have speed and pace. Maybe the right idea, but a terrible execution. Game point. Next point wins.
And game one goes to ZHOU, where Liu kind of needed some luck there at the end of the game, Jimmy. She got the opposite. She got a little bit unlucky. And like you said, probably not the greatest decision at the end of the game. When you're not too confident on how your long serve is going to go, when you haven't served long all match and then using it at the most important time, if you're going to serve long to a player like ZHOU Xin, who's got so much power off both sides, you have to really kind of go after it. You can't just kind of lay it in there like Liu did.
Well, Liu was grimacing in her face when she came back to her coach after that game. She knows she just let an opportunity get away, was able to battle back that game after being way down early and midway through that game. You are so right, Corey. When she needed a point the most, she decided to serve deep down the line, but it had no pace and no speed on it. ZHOU easily dealt with it, which caught Liu off balance, got him back into the game, and then, of course, you get some help there with the edge at 10-all. Really a tough first game loss there for Liu.
Yeah, because she had the lead late. She was up 9-8 and gave up those 2 points at the end in a game that, you know, let's be honest here, she really needed to win that game. You had it, and you kind of let it slip away. And now ZHOU that gets that first game under his belt, and my guess is he's going to feel a little bit more comfortable. He's got a game under him now, so I think he's going to start playing a little more offense this game.
Corey, that was a fantastic receive there by ZHOU. He made it look so easy, but he changed his racket angle. He dug it off the bounce, gave Liu no time to deal with it. ZHOU silky smooth coming out at the beginning of the second game, making it look really easy, but it is not easy out there, but he's just in a great rhythm right now.
So much spin on that opening. Liu trying to counter it, but really not that close, blows it off the end. Liu needs to find a way to get some balls on the table here and start playing with a little more consistency. And even there, Jimmy, she looks like she's trying a little bit too hard, which sometimes can happen when you're up against a player the caliber of ZHOU, is you know you kind of need to play well, but you're forcing it a little bit, and in return, you just miss a whole bunch of shots, and you kind of give the game away.
Well, Corey, just more great play by ZHOU. Right now, Liu has lost 7 points in a row after the last point of last game, down 6-0 this game. She needs to stop the bleeding. That was a let serve. They will replay that point.
Great sportsmanship there by ZHOU.
Well, Corey, Joe's on fire right now. I mean, he can't even make an unforced error or any kind of mistake. Look at that. I mean, when you're on fire, you're on fire. I'm not sure what Liu can do when he's in that kind of rhythm. She's just got to wait this out and hope it changes.
Yeah, he's on fire, and the other problem, he's got world-class technique, so that's the other issue. It's
When
not
you have a
just luck.
world-class technique, you can stay on fire for quite a while.
That's true.
This game just a formality now. First unforced error we've seen Joe make this game, and that one's not going to hurt him with a 9-2 lead.
And Joe takes a 10-2 lead. Jimmy, I like that Joe isn't still just trying crazy stuff even though they got a lead. We saw some matches, I feel, where when players got up a lot, they took some uncharacteristic risks and played themselves so out of rhythm. But Joe doesn't seem to be doing that. He just seems to be kind of keep playing the point. He's not playing down to the level of the score and just making Liu try to win points. But he's not playing himself out of rhythm, which I think is smart.
Well, I just love that forehand by Joe there. Liu with a nice backhand opening wide to his forehand, and he just reached his arm out. It's just so relaxed in his forehand. Just so smooth. Just makes it look so effortless.
There's no doubt. He made the whole game look effortless. Now he won that game 11-3. Joe takes it up 2 games to 0 now. Both players still have their timeout, but man, Liu is really up against it here. Needs to find a way to win this game. You go down 3-0 to a player like this, and the only chance, between slim and none, you have to come back. So this is absolutely a must-win game for Liu. What do you think, Jimmy?
Well, here's what Liu needs to focus on. This is something I focus on. She just lost 11-2. She's lost 11 out of the last 14 points. These players aren't that far apart, and it's rare that's going to keep happening. So she's due and likely to go on a run if she just stays consistent. But that forehand loop by Joe literally hit the white line. Just perfect length on that shot. And that's what Liu needs to do, is just stay calm, stay steady, don't panic, do not start overplaying just because you got killed that last game. As hot as Joe's been, I don't believe he can keep that kind of hotness up. So she's got to just hang in there and wait for him to cool down. And that's just a beautiful forehand opening there by Liu. That ball hit the white line on Joe's side. And see, all of a sudden, Liu's got a little bit of rhythm. Let's see if she can maintain it. And that's just great, steady play by Liu. So she's come out this game, and she's calmed down. She's putting the ball on the table, and Joe has finally cooled down a little bit.
My opinion there, Jimmy, you can't play balls out to the Joe forehand like that. You need to make Joe beat you with his backhand. And giving him an easy ball like that after you get up 3-1 was a little bit of a tactical error. I like that play a lot more. Drop shot to serve with super heavy spin. Joe comes in, long pushes. Liu gets the attack and the 4-2 lead.
Great steady play by Liu this game. This is why she's such a champion. She did not panic after that last game. And a beautiful, heavy, short chop serve there by Liu. Caught Joe off guard.
Again, another forehand that catches the white line. What precision and accuracy. That ball is so difficult because he can take that ball cross court or down the line.
Okay, let's see what kind of serve Liu comes up with after that beautiful decision earlier. And Corey, that time, Liu got a little bit more speed on that exact same down the line serve that cost her in that first game. She got a little more speed on it, and that time it paid off. And Corey's so impressed with the way Liu came out this game. She just stayed the course. She's putting the ball on the table. She's not going out of character, and it's paying off so far. And that's just fantastic table tennis, Corey, by Liu.
Just great footwork, great power, great accuracy, and she's not overhitting the ball, which is also really important to be able to keep doing that point in and point out. That's unbelievable. Those forehands are wicked, Jimmy.
And it's Liu that's on fire now, Corey. Things have totally changed. Liu with game point. Zhou catches the net there, but that should not be too costly for Liu. She's got a huge lead this game.
Unbelievable game by Liu when she really had to have it. That's why they're both Olympians, Jimmy. Liu just played her best game when she needed it the most, down 2-0, comes back and played by far the best she's played all match long.
What really impresses me about that performance, that game by Liu, is the previous game, she got destroyed. She could have easily have gotten down, gotten frustrated, and come out that game and played out of character. It's easy to panic when you're losing, and it's even easier to panic when you're getting destroyed. But she didn't. She stayed the course. She put the ball on the table. She settled down, and it paid off big. Dominant win that game by Liu.
Yeah. Sometimes one thing that can happen to lesser players, not players like Liu, is you can start to doubt yourself a little bit and play either too safe or too aggressive, and you put the match on your opponent's racket. She didn't. She made great shots all game long, Jimmy. She did not get a bunch of unforced errors there. She was crushing forehands all game long. ZHOU to serve, up 2-1 here at the T2 Challenge Finals in Westchester Table Tennis Center in New York. And ZHOU starting this game up 2-0, bringing a little more offense this game than he did in the last game. Last game, Liu was able to drop shot the serve, get her own opening on the table, and then play good after that. This game,
that's a costly mistake by Liu, and she showed it on her face, grimacing, very frustrated, looking out into the crowd after that miss. Big point for Liu. Oh, that's just beautiful forehand table tennis there by ZHOU.
we've been watching that same beautiful forehand. I would really struggle to keep hitting balls into that forehand if I was Liu. It's like I can only watch that down the line forehand go by me so many times before I change my location on my opening. Great forehand counter by Liu. ZHOU opens up. Pretty good spin, but again, you have to be able to play a little bit better positioning than that. Great cut. Jimmy, did you see that serve receive? It was like fast and really dead.
It was a work of art, and it totally caught ZHOU off balance. Darted that shot right to his middle. He was totally wrong-footed. Great receive by Liu. ZHOU caught the top of the net, that receive. That's what made Liu miss it. And now an edge by ZHOU. And Corey, when you're already an underdog and your opponent starts getting nets and edges on you, it's a sick feeling out there.
And there's no question.
Great job to stay alive that point by Liu. Great defense. Beautiful, beautiful backhand loop down the line by Liu off the ZHOU Xin flick. Liu hanging in this game. And Corey, another net by Zhou. Up 7-4, he's had 2 nets and an edge in the last 4 points. Just unlucky stuff going on for Liu right now out there. That is just beautiful. Beautiful forehand, backhand combination by Liu. Just great speed off the bounce.
Really good spin there by Zhou, Jimmy. Starting to bring some of the offense, doesn't want Liu to catch fire. That was the mistake he made in the 3rd game. He started playing a little bit passive, and Liu absolutely took it to him. That's an unbelievable forehand counter. Liu had her best backhand opening of the match that point, and Zhou absolutely crushed it.
Incredible reaction there by Zhou, starting to show some of that fire that he showed in that 1st and 2nd game.
Jimmy, that was the long serve she's been having trouble with. The 1st game, it kind of got too slow. Next game, it worked, and this game, she misses it long.
That serve has not worked very well for her. Although it wasn't a crucial point of the game, I think she's willing to take some risks. She's so far down right now. And as you can see, down 10-6, she just decided she was going to go for the winner outright. She didn't want to play any more long rallies, see if she could take a risk and win 1 or 2 and give herself a chance.
And Zhou goes up 3-1, winning 11-6 in game 4. And Jimmy, we kind of been in this situation last match, remember, with Dan Liu playing against Kai Zhang, how when we were in this situation before, we were talking about if you're the player down, you want to think about how can I get this to the fast 5. Don't think about the fact that you're down 3-1. How can I get this to the fast 5? It shortens your goals a little bit. It doesn't make it seem like it's so daunting as winning 3 games back to back to back in games to 11. Just tell yourself, if I can find a way to get this to a fast 5, I got a shot.
And Zhou just went over to the scorekeeper and asked how much time was left before the fast 5, so he understood what the situation was. You are absolutely right, Corey. If Liu could somehow figure out to stay alive this game, she could get this into the fast 5 and give herself a chance.
Great forehand kill shot to the elbow. Exactly the kind of start Liu was looking for coming out of the gates here in game 5.
Fantastic serve and opening there by Liu. She got the ball on the table, did not make any unforced errors, paid off for her at the start of this game. Corey, Liu is doing that strategy that you suggested, working Zhou's backhand, getting him to open slow and high, just wasn't able to make that one. And there you go, Corey. That time it paid off. She is putting pressure on Zhou's backhand. That's definitely his weak side. He tends to lift and put the ball high. And right now, Liu with a great start this game. She'd like to have that one back because Zhou really gave her a soft floating forehand receive. Liu unable to capitalize. Corey, that's one of the rare forehand mistime mistakes we've seen Zhou make this whole match.
And you see it looks like he feels like he made a little bit of a technical error there. Maybe he lifted the elbow a little bit at contact.
Oh, what an incredible recovery by Zhou. Liu got the shot she wanted, put pressure on his backhand. He looped that ball real high like we've seen this whole game, but The recovery off the big Liu forehand loop. Not a bad receive by Liu, but just a better shot by ZHOU, getting around from his middle and getting that big forehand in.
Jimmy, Liu has to start stepping around that ball and playing some of those balls with the forehand. She can't just open safely with the backhand against a player like ZHOU. She really needs to put pressure on her third ball. Great backhand there, but at least the placement there was right. She got all the way around the ball, got her feet set in good position, and played the ball down the line to the ZHOU backhand, where he's not really countering or doing a lot with the backhand. He's just kind of getting the ball back on the table.
That was a nice, just kind of nothing receive by Liu. She really didn't put anything on it and gave kind of a nothing ball. Totally caught ZHOU off guard. Blew that ball way off the end of the table. That was a pretty good receive by Liu, but just a better reaction by ZHOU. That was a beautiful backhand banana flick there.
Yeah, and it really had a lot of the side spin that was still from his serve, and that's why it kicked funny, and Liu hit it off the side of the table.
Liu demonstrating her great backhand control there. Those are very difficult shots. Dealt with two very difficult shots from ZHOU.
She got a little bit late up to that ball. Didn't get her left foot on the ground to get herself balanced on her forehand flip, and causes a little bit of an error. That was the one she kind of needed. And you can't play balls soft like that to the ZHOU forehand. He's been just pounding. I mean, even when Liu plays great shots to his forehand, he's crushing it. And that one was pretty soft. And ZHOU took care of that, and now has the 8-7 lead, up 3 games to 1. I would be curious to know the percentage of points ZHOU is winning once he touches the ball with his forehand in the point. He seems like he doesn't ever lose a point anytime he gets his forehand in play.
And that was a overplay there by Liu. Played that way too hard. Again, Corey, Liu putting a little too much on it. That's just too easy for ZHOU. She's got to take a little pace off that and get it back on the table.
And 4 match points here for ZHOU.
Well, there's that down the line serve, and it worked for her that time. It had good speed. ZHOU made a decent return on it, though, but she had enough speed on it where she, slowed him down a little bit.
If I'm ZHOU, I think about calling a timeout here. Get my serve. Yeah, he does call timeout. Smart move. He's being coached by fellow 2020 Olympian and LIU Juan's teammate. ZHOU Xin is being coached by Lily Jiang, and Liang Jishan is doing the coaching. Their fellow New Yorkers to LIU Juan. Smart move here to call timeout. Jimmy, if I'm over there, if I'm Lily and I'm coaching ZHOU Xin, telling him what I think you should do, my advice would be do something where you can get your forehand in play. Because you haven't lost hardly any points when you get your forehand in play. As long as you can do that, any plan that does that, I'd be okay with.
Liu has done a tremendous job of just staying alive this game. This could have easily been over several points ago, but I love how she's calmed down. We haven't seen her overplay. She's put the ball on the table. She's making ZHOU have to make a quality shot through her to win this game. Let's see if she continues that strategy at this point.
And that's game, set, match. ZHOU Xin takes the 4-1 win over LIU Juan. And that was the strategy we were talking about, Jimmy. Just do something where you can get your forehand into play early in the rally.
Corey, that was a great match there. I'm so impressed with Liu and just how good she is on both sides. With that backhand, she can really pressure you off the bounce. She creates a lot of spin. Her forehand is smooth as silk. And I just thought she did a tremendous job keeping that game close there at the end, and I thought she just played tremendously because she was an underdog in the match. She's playing one of the best males on the US Olympic team, and she had a heck of a performance there.
Yeah, there's no question. She should be proud of herself and proud of her performance. And that's going to be all for us from the T2 Challenge Finals at the Westchester Table Tennis Club. Alongside my partner, Jimmy Butler, I am Corey Eider, and good night.